Hello, Nest Block. I am LRock617, joined today by the illustrious Concakes, Cyphrin, and Mad Mega. Hope you're all having a splendid January so far. For AGDQ 2020, we got to organize and that's what I'm looking for is energize or run the third ever Nest Block, second ever from Awesome Games Done Quick since it was started last year in the practice room at AGDQ 2019. And this was the first one that I got to helm myself, and I to say I put a lot of the weight on my shoulders was very much an understatement, but I'm glad I did it. At the time, even leading up to it, I was just thinking, like, man, I don't know if I got this. Like, I underestimate myself all the time, but even I was just like, man, this is a lot to do. I had to talk to people and et cetera, et cetera. No, I'm just kidding. But no, it was tremendous. I'm really, really glad it came together over the 20 hours we put together from like 8 p.m. Thursday night to 4 p.m. the next day. Lots of content. And I couldn't have done it without these three amazing people who are here on the call with me. I would love to get your all's thoughts about it individually. Cyphrin, how did you feel about the event overall? It was your third, much like myself.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Was nice playing more of a behind the scenes kind of role, helping to run the marathon. For one, I was really grateful to Bad Mega here because he took a lot of time, like just making sure that equipment was set up and such for us to to get ready to rock and roll and such. And
Y'all
so
were with us in the days leading up to the event. I was just like, all right, here's a monitor. We're doing this like immediately.
yeah,
We had to
and
get
then
something like 4 NES consoles before we finally got one we were happy with, and we got another one. And man, it was a journey for sure.
yeah, he put
Would do again.
yeah, definitely shout outs to Mad Mega. And then meeting the, as you said, illustrious Concakes in person,
So
getting
glad that
that
finally
in
happened.
person RGL TV behind the scenes expertise. Like I'd be like, Kong, what am I doing here? I'm lost. Kong is like, I got this, dude. And
Kong
so
holds down the fort, man. He's the final boss for a reason, man.
oh, nice with the shirt, yes. And yeah, so meeting Kong in person, and then yeah, again to you, El Rock, the amount of time you put into this as well, like it's not, it can't, be said how well you did with this.
I
So like,
I find it kind of telling that the three people that have run Nest Block so far also had a run in the event, and a part of me wonders if that's like a primary motivator. Like Enemy had Super Goals and Ghosts, and then Yells had the two Marvel Madness runs, and they the same week ran the event, and I had TMNT this time. So I'm just like, is this part of the motivation? Like we get through our thing and then we do the thing, like I really don't know. It's hard to
hey,
say. There's
I
a
had
lot of energy
I
that you
had
guys put
Shadow
together.
Dancer as well, so I
Yeah,
mean,
Yeah,
right.
there's that
you know,
too.
pay
Hey,
it forward, yeah.
fingers crossed for Lucky Dime then for the next one of these.
SMS block win.
right.
Lucky dime for 9 hours. How many times
Just
can you
on
do it?
repeat.
But yeah, just in short, I had a fantastic time, and also just grateful to all our runners that took part. I had fun playing with new people I hadn't played before, doing some co-op, which our viewers here will see, and yeah, it was fantastic.
Really disappointed we couldn't get the Home Alone 11 times world record as part of that. But
Oh,
timing just didn't work out. That would have been hilarious. I don't know how we would have recorded it, but it would have been
I,
sick.
I think just set up a phone like way up high
Yeah.
and just have it like record because I think that's what they did, or they had like a
Well,
GoPro or something.
Yeah, or just get Lat to get something. Speaking of which, much props to Lat Mackey who supplied us with the lighting equipment that we're able to use for this. We actually had
Right.
production value. It was
thank
cool.
you,
It was really
thank
cool.
you.
It was really, really cool. So, Kong, this was your first Nest Block and your return to a GDQ in like 3 years. What were your thoughts on how it went?
It was awesome. It was a lot of fun. And we worked together before on marathons in the past online,
Yes,
but doing one in person was a lot of fun. Like having all,
the
consoles.
you name it.
yeah, we had all the, everything set up, having to do all that stuff instead of, clicking on the mouse. We had physical things that we were doing was a lot of fun. And shout outs to you for giving me the idea. When I first started thinking about Nest Block about a week before AGDQ, I was like, man, I don't feel confident in any of these games. I don't really speed run anymore. I don't know what I want to play. And Elrock goes, how about BSD? I said, oh no.
BSD's so good. It's so good. I love that game. It was I think it was the first game I ever actually saw you play. AGDQ 2017 was a 3-way between Kong, Too Good, and Enemy in the practice room. Like, this is fire. This is why I come to GDQs all the time. It was so good.
Yeah, and it was amazing. It was amazing. It was so much fun meeting and seeing everybody from the NES community and having everybody come out and play games is just awesome.
Yeah, it was something. I love the fact that we're almost like a niche within a niche. Like the retro community is one thing, but we don't all run NES, and the fact that we're just like, hey, we should just make this easier on ourselves and leave one console and just do a bunch of games on it, and that's just exactly how it started. You know that, and being able to go against a run of a game that was decidedly not NES, and we were just like, hey, we need to fill time, and we did.
Yeah.
Spectacular. Now we've kept doing that. And Mad Mega, all the props to him for supplying all the equipment. Your thoughts on how it went? I know you didn't get to be there for most of it, but
yeah, I was unfortunately out and about in the Orlando area for most of it, but I was able to give you guys the hardware to make the magic happen and help out briefly to get stuff set up for sure. And I got to run Bugs Bunny, which was fun. That game's such a wreck. It's a lot of fun to watch. I think
one of my favorite runs of the event. Not to spoil anything. That race was maybe my favorite race of the event. It was awesome. It was so much fun.
But the list here again, it's really strong. There's a lot of fun stuff on here. There's a lot of great runners playing some really great NES games. Like I'm looking at the full list and like just top to bottom, I don't think that there's a single game in here that either isn't an all-time classic or just a great speed run that's fun to watch. Like I think everything that's on here is fun to, is at the very least it's fun to watch, even if you like think back as a kid, it's like, I don't know if I like that game. If you played Bugs Bunny, you probably didn't like that game as a kid. But I promise the run's kind of fun to watch. So
I enjoyed it as a kid. I'll give you a better example. Die Hard.
Oh, there's a great one.
Die Hard if I wasn't a speedrunner, and this speedrun is amazing.
No, the speedrun is great.
It's super good. But then you get like on the flip side of Die Hard, you have a game like Zelda 2, which is a notoriously stupidly difficult game run by someone who's phenomenal at it, and it makes it look borderline easy. So you're like, okay.
Oh yeah, I always think that
you can beat it under an hour.
I always think, oh yeah, that game I should pick that up and play that. And then I watched somebody play. I was like, yeah, I could do this. And then I started. I was like, I'm an idiot. What was I thinking?
Oh man, so that's even just scratching the surface which we've got for you all this year. And again, we thank you all so much for being here. I can't thank the three people in this call enough for all the effort and all of the supplies and all of the support and all of the literally everything that was provided for this. Because I couldn't have done. I know it's a broken record at this point, but I couldn't have done it without the three of you. You all are just right there. I love you all so much, and I really hope you all enjoy this event's list of games. We've got I think I counted it up, and it was looking at about 38 games. Only 2 less than what we had at SGDQ 2019, but we had some retakes, and we have some longer games.
40 recordings, so I'm sure that there's some stuff. I have a list here. I'm not sure what the full thing is. I know that I sent them all to Yells. He's taking care of sorting through everything. So
we had 2 retakes, and we had quite a few longer runs. We had like some 45-minute estimates. We had 3 1-hour estimates. Those being like the Cokerone race, the SMB3 randomizer, and then the of course Zelda 2, as mentioned before.
Mm-hmm.
Not to give too much away. And then of course we had like a lot of Mario content this time around, much of which was around like the 40 to 45-minute mark for some pretty cool extensive ideas, which I won't go into just yet. So yeah, so we didn't have as many of the shorter runs this time around. Very few things that were like 10 minutes and under, but we got a lot out of what we were able to utilize, and I was very, very thankful for that.
Yeah, and I just want to say, to you guys, thanks for letting me, be here and talk and mention it, talk about this a little bit, and to and to be a part of it at all. I was there for the very first one, and when we were talking about it, and the idea kind of blossomed, and it just happened. And
Nando's.
Yeah, that's right.
All at Nando's. It was so many of us there. I even lost track of let's see. It was of course since the inception of this whole idea, more and more props to Enemy TV as well as Yells Rate, because they were the forerunners of the first NES block, and that's what got us here today.
Yeah.
And
so
of course the rest of us that were there at that event that just brainstormed this within like, what did we get that together within like 4 hours or something like that? It didn't
Yeah,
take long.
all
We got,
all
like,
those
18 hours of games out of it. It was crazy.
and all it really took was saying, hey, who wants to play an NES game here at GDQ, and you know, people are
Crazy how
beating the
simple
doors
concept
down.
that works, right?
You know, even
Wants to play video games.
at this event, you know, I mean, I know that, you know, when you and I started talking about it there, you know, when I was giving you the equipment, and it was like, you know, people were coming up to you from day one of the event, like, hey, Elrock, I want to play something in NES Block. Like, they knew you were in charge, so they were like getting in early. They wanted to line up their race or their game. Like, it was like, people are really excited for it, which is just super awesome to me. Like, I love it.
My Discord blew up so much over that like 3-day span. I'm just like, man, this is what it's like, huh? Trying to organize a big marathon on the spot. Well, you know what I mean, on the spot, as opposed to like, hey, we have weeks. So it's like, hey, we got like 2 days. Let's go. We're in there. We know we're doing this, and I'm glad we were able to do it at a time when everyone was able to get their games in, especially for like the overnight stuff. Like, I'm so happy for the people that are able to actually pull that through, because I mean, nobody sleeps at GDQ anyways, but we got her done, and it was awesome. It was so cool, and I'm very much anticipating being able to do it again in the future. Don't know when that's going to be just yet, but again, for AGDQ 2020, I really hope you all appreciate the game list, and we're going to get to that here shortly. But for the rest of my crew, I'm not going to speak for them, but Elrock's going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you all so much for being here and for recording this with me, and all the props, all the love, all the lava. Thanks a lot, guys.
Bye, everybody.